Hello and welcome to attempt number 3 of watching this one single testing game. Team 1, ANS, Team 2, OSP, Team 1, Captain Chaos, Prophet, Vryn, Apocall, Team 2, Corbeau, Internet Explorer, Meganaut, Ketabor, who is Rymark. We have a 3K, 4v4, we're on pillars. Rule is OSP, no missiles allowed. ANS is still required to bring their normal PD setups. And someone's gonna be in big fucking trouble if they don't have that. We're doing this because the a commonly expressed concern is that only missiles can kill battleships. This is the new battleship, the 60 centimeter battleship, the testing battleship. And we don't want that situation to exist because that's kind of a a huge fleet editor problem. So who we got? Who we got? Who we got? We got Vryn here on the ANS team. 250s on top, 450s on the bottom, and a little Laxford. Stone walls all around. Couple defenders and the smaller, hard to use mounts, 2x2s. Escorted by 1, 2, 3 frigates. Got some jams, got some guns, got some anti-jams, got a little bit of PD as well. Nice, well-rounded build. Very effective. Very cool. He's pretty happy with it. I'm pretty happy with it. Prophet has 450s on the nose, beam on the keel, beam on the rear. Defender PD all around, a couple stone walls on the cheeks. And some chaff and decoys out the bottom here. So it's got a few 120 gun shuttles. Defenders on them to get onto the map and to cap points. Just control things like that. Chaos, pure beam battleship. The quintessential beam battleship. Such a beam battleship that I even put defenders in the C4 slot. I love this thing. He's escorted by 2 sprinters with defenders on them and some arming missiles. Okay, that's what those are. And some locking radars. Apocall has a pair of fighting voxels with S3H backpacks. Full to the brim of privateers, whatever that may be. And 1 jam frig with a stonewall on it. Corbeau has double 450 Acellos, with each with 2 Sarisas and 2 Auroras and 1 Floodlight and 1 Bullseye. Pretty well rounded. Good little PD build. It's also got 1 EWR Tug. Internet Explorer is rocking. Oh my. This is quite a build. It's rocking 1 Revolver line ship, 1 Plasma 100mm line ship, and 2 Plasma 100mm line ship. Very nice. Rymark has triple mass driver bulkers. Each bulker with 3 mass drivers. It's also got a little bit of PD in the form of grazers for swatting down quickie strikes. Meganaut has 4 monitors, each with 1 plasma cannon on the nose, and double T-30s. One of which is currently firing grape as a sprinter, and is having a pretty good effect, actually. It's like grapes coming in from a couple different sources. Very nice. Turn that sprinter apart. It's also got 3 shuttles for capping purposes and map presence purposes, rather notably because the OSP has been banished from bringing missiles to the party to deal with battleships. They're having to bring a ton of firepower, raw firepower, to punch through that armor. And this has left them with little to no map presence in the way of small vessels. So, we'll see how this goes. In the meantime, OSP has failed to cap Alpha. Both teams have capped their naturals, and it looks like ANS is moving to cap Alpha. Friends moving up here with his Axford and Frigate team. He's, what am I doing? I don't have any music. We're gonna fire this up. We've done this intro now 3 times, so it's kind of run on autopilot a little bit here, to be honest. A little annoyed, a little exhausted. We've been having technical difficulties, and that just happens sometimes. OSP's going after Charlie, I believe. With this move, they will be able to cover pillars, or point A from the top. But yeah, they're hard focused, Bravo Charlie. Line. ANS is a little bit better of a spread, which is a good thing. Divine Tikkun here, getting in a fight. Not even in a fight, really, just popping mass drivers, which are on hold fire for some reason. I don't know what that's about. I think Reimer might have just screwed up there, because they're pointed, aimed, cocked, and locked, ready to fire, and on hold fire. Plasma flying out, going into an Axford. Okay, that's real bad. Axford's pretty weak to plasma overall. Oh yeah, on the bottom of the Axford, which is really good at catching bullets. It's gonna, yeah, there goes the 450 cannon. And just in general, this thing is now taking a pounding from the 250 fire and the 100 mil fire. The Internet Explorer. The revolver is getting into the fight. Oh my. And the 450 from Corbeau flying in as well. This is what we call less than ideal. Sassy Watt's guts just getting ripped out of it. So many of its buff modules and just everything in the bottom half of the ship is gone. Now the frigates are going to start taking hits. Or maybe not. Those tracks are pretty bad. I got some jamming coming out from the frigates. Nice, nice. Might be firing out an LOB. No, that's way too accurate for that. Just frigate things. Dodging, being hard to hit. But not being impossible to hit. Bull's taking a ton of damage. Quickly gonna die pretty fast. We got Prophet moving into Echo, and he's probably gonna catch it. Yeah, I think he can hide under this rock, avoid Mechanaut's monitor team. Oh, right, these moved up. That's why there's so much plasma. Okay. Moved up here with the bulkers and are firing down the field as well. Apical's moving out from Delta. Looks like he's looping around the backside of Echo. Might just be going up. Yeah, I think he's going up around this rock right here. Might have sniffed out the EWR tug and be headed up there to voxel it. Both battleships still out of the fight. Let's see, Cass has gone under the map and is headed to Echo, but that's completely superfluous, as Prophet was able to capture it on his own with one single sprinter. His gun battleships. Okay, his gun battleships now having plasma shot at it. He's popping at a monitor. A little bit of damage. 215, 100 mil. Yeah, isn't gonna do anything yet. Armor's still too thick.
Hello.
Hello.
Hey.
Hey guys. Hey Dark Hands.
Good evening.
This game is good.
This battleship's taking a ton of plasma fire, but well, I guess ton is a bit of an exaggeration here. It's taking quite a bit, but it seems like the 250s and the 100 mil still can't pierce.
Is this Testulous?
Yes, ma'am.
Testulous.
Gotcha. Have they changed it since like the last time I played?
Gone to 5% repair bonus on the BB. Armor is still the same.
Okay.
So,
Does the Axford still have a repair bonus?
Yeah,
yep.
Axford's still at...
Axford now has better max repair than the battleship, which actually is it gives it an interesting niche because it can fight and then cover and then fight and then cover with the giant sledgehammer. But...
Yeah, so the Axford's now
Gotcha.
total 25 and Solomon is 15.
This outfit, however,
Okay.
is not doing great because half that armor is gone. So
Yeah.
it's going to be feeling it when it gets back in there.
Undersized, but it's
That's
able to angle pretty
Transexpert.
effectively.
Yeah, it's going to do a number on these guys if we can get that tied up by the time they come around. But I think these bulkers are just going to tear it to bits if it
Yeah,
spits it out
those.
again.
Not even
Yeah,
rebuilding the turret.
Are those 250 bulkers?
Two of them are Plasma T20, one of them is a spin chip.
Gotcha. The Doom.
And this
Rip.
spinship's been putting out the raw DPS quite effectively.
Yeah,
Beam getting on target.
250 casemates are so strong. The
Yeah,
beam?
that kill beam out of the Divine Tikkun. Knocking down the plasma launcher on one of Mechanon's ships. Which is a problem. So this is something else that we've talked about, is that if you start to lose the plasma, and you're required to have plasma, then you're in big trouble. Fortunately, the bulkers have not taken any damage. Well, any appreciable damage. So they'll still be able to get their plasma to target, but those monitors are going to get chewed up by the beam on the Divine Tikkun. Especially since there's just two of them over here.
The divine. Was it Divine Kun?
Tiqqun.
Oh,
So I'm pronouncing that
Divine
as
Kun.
Tikkun. Not that weeb shit.
Ohio. Konnichiwa, Dark-kun.
Just straight up ruining the cast. Cool, thanks.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Alright, that's most of Ren's escorts are down. In fact, I'd say all of Ren's escorts are down. And his Axford's also in really bad shape. Gonna be able to get that 450 online, but all the armor under it is just dead-a-reno. So if even a couple shells go in there, it's gonna go back down. Able to repair up to orange though, so I guess that's better than what I'm used to. OSP gonna be able to cap Charlie eventually.
Completely gone.
You know, ANS has in the meantime though managed to cap all the points except for Bravo, because OSP is concentrated their forces on a Bravo Charlie push. Like we were saying earlier, they have a lot of guns.
I guess they only EWR. These Master Rovers have radars. No, they do not. Okay. So,
that's kind of a
does
problem.
Doom have a radar? Yes. You have a radar. No. The only ships with a radar here are the spin ship and the two Ocellos and these plasma monsters.
Oh my! That's very concerning.
And a couple of shelters hiding behind rocks. So, like, yeah, they can't see this battleship in the back of the map. They can't see these light cruisers. They're having trouble even seeing the Divine Tikkun. How do you pronounce that? But no, they can't because they just put it to visual. But this jamming from these CLs is going to absolutely kill them.
Yep. Got a big blob up here, eating, jamming.
They got the floodlights though. Yeah, a lot of floodlights. Holy shit.
They have 2 floodlights.
Yeah, that's more floodlights than I'm used to.
That is true. That's
They're
very
more fun
point.
than I'm used to.
Floods are good.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's gonna be very effective at fighting the voxels. Unfortunately, let's say unfortunately the Ocellos are eating 250 on the flank, but it's actually not too bad. It looks like they're not locked. No, they are locked. These bullets are still going all over the place. I'm not sure what that's about.
Bad luck on this CL. CIC's gone red. It's in the open. The Ocellos can hit it. The Master Rovers can hit it. It's kind of staggering around a bit.
Drunk voxel.
Yes.
Is anyone gonna capture Charlie? Anyone in the OSP team want to capture Charlie? Alright, looks like Meganot's burning for it. Those monitors. But still, I mean, the game is basically over.
And
Especially with the ANS capping
backlines.
Bravo. Because the OSP team has to split at this point, and they can't, because all these ships, you need all these ships to fight one battleship.
Doom.
In fairness, they're not even fighting it. They're just like
Yeah, that's-
randomly targeting different ships and not even targeting it together. So.
That's the real irony, is that they're not even fighting the battleship with all this. The battleships are just kind of staying away.
Beam.
I know
OSP
this
really,
Stalker is tough, but it's not this kind of tough.
OSP really needs to get all its guns on that battleship.
Yep, there goes the plasma.
Can't be fucking around with it.
If the Doom lost shoot another couple of times, it could do some damage here, but even then, a lot of center mass has not been burned yet.
Yeah, but the point blank plasma is going to be pretty damn effective at stripping that armor.
The armor's gone, but I don't think they have the burst. I think the beams are going to kill them first.
Yeah. They also
I don't
haven't
know.
hit enough locations.
They're tearing up that battleship real fast. Like,
Yeah, it looks like he switched targets away from the 250 warship and onto the plasma.
Yeah, if he keeps shooting the Doom, then it's gonna. I think he wins. If he tries to kill the plasma, yep, there we go. He's fixed targets. Doom is down to 2 restores. He's hitting multiple ships at once. He doesn't want to be doing this. There's only one ship here that can actually hurt him. Apart from these T-20s, which are just plunking most of the time.
This is a fight for the ages.
You want to split fire like this, you're not going to kill these focus.
Oh man, that's a hell of a screen cap.
Gone.
oh wow. 3 line ships just trying to beat the hell out of a Solomon.
And failing.
Five capital ships currently hitting this thing. I think they'll have it eventually. They've got the volume of fire and it doesn't have the beams, but
Yeah, it doesn't have any armor now. It's gonna die quickly, but they need to be splitting up while they're shooting it. At this point, they need to realize that it's damaged enough.
okay, it's just lost power to run any of its shit because it lost a big reactor. So yeah, this BB's fucked. So they did win.
Gracious. Yeah, this is pretty huge. Like being a whole battleship down at this point.
Oh,
Yeah,
They're a little too far ahead on points.
yeah, it's over. It was over the second they 5 capped, because they were already really far ahead on points. They got the 5 cap.
Yeah, there's another BB over here.
minutes.
There's CLs up, down 1 CL. Yeah, 1 CL is basically dead, but
If OSP starts rotating towards the middle of the map, they might be able to around. But I don't
yeah, well,
think that.
all the ANS needs to do guaranteed win this is take the Hagrid and just slam it into the center of the map because they got nothing with contest.
Not necessarily.
If they do that, they get
all these mass
fired
travels
at by everything on the map.
Yeah, that battleship would die pretty quick if everything OSP had shot at the same
Yeah.
time.
I mean, sure it would, but it doesn't need to like do anything but delay them for another couple of minutes like this one is. And this one is still like alive enough that they have to keep shooting it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
So, yeah,
disabled
they-
though, it can't move anymore. It's dead.
Yeah,
They just need to take A, E, and D, and they can maybe win.
Yeah, the radarless T-20 plasma liner, like the last generation plasma liner before the plasma changes, is like perhaps gonna make a comeback as BB destruction device.
Yeah.
Doesn't really do the damage or anything else, but yeah, it's sure as hell get the armor off.
Yeah, it's a good thing ANS chose not to bring any missiles, because otherwise the plasma walkers would have gotten fucking schwacked, and the game would have been over.
Well, in fairness, you also said that OSP can't bring torps, so.
Yeah, but so
The Ocellos have point defense, but yeah.
Oh, the Hogwarts is a BBB. Okay, never mind. Don't run that into the middle of the map. I'm making decisions because I thought that was guns.
My
But
argument
it's-
is that if they need missiles in order to beat this, then, you know.
Okay, so that's delete this mass driver liner, I think.
Yeah, honestly, I'm gonna say it now. OSP has this.
Yeah, I mean, they might still fumble it, but
They're gonna lose like caps if anything.
They're gonna lose B because this Master Overliner can't hold it against the battleship.
they're
They
doing
got
well
E pretty
militarily.
sturdily. I
They're doing
think
well
ANS has this
militarily,
on
and I don't
caps.
see if there's. I don't see a reason why they needed to lose this on caps. They might anyway, but with better play, I'm not sure it had to have turned out.
Yeah. This could go either way. I think it mostly depends on whether ANS can scrape together a reasonable defense of E. Because if they hold 2 caps, they absolutely win, and they are going to hold B.
And Admiral Hargid.
I mean, they just have to hold it long enough because they are so far ahead, and I think they can hold at least 1 point. So
Yeah.
I don't think OSP can even catch up.
Admiral Hargid is not firing on the ship for some reason.
How many people have joined this voice call?
A lot.
Oh my
A lot.
god, we've gone from 3 to like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
You
10
call it the
folks.
Coliseum. We're in
Okay.
the stands.
That's true. That's very true. I ain't mad at it. Just
10 people in here.
surprised. It's just kind of surreal because we were talking about kind of how things were around here when we first started out earlier. Misk and I were. And, yeah, it's just crazy to see this many people in here. It's really cool.
This BMBB is not
Okay.
taking his 3 kills. Shoot it. Nah, I think it's out of range. Block it fast.
That's gonna be the Alpha Cap. They're down 454 points.
It's gonna
They
be
need a
close.
4 cap.
And if they get a Bravo,
they
they'll
need
get whacked by the
they need
BMPB.
a 4, they need E, and then they need to get that beam battleship out of the way, and I don't think they can. Because they're gonna need to send something to E, and they don't have anything small, so it's probably gonna be like an Ocello.
Beam BB
Yeah,
going to A.
Exactly what it is. The full bend is heading over to Echo with
Boy.
some very
Don't like
busted up
this.
engines.
I think you just throw it behind B Rock and win.
Yeah, but Chaos doesn't understand the concept of not being a bloodthirsty maniac.
This is a very questionable play.
Here we go.
If they lose B, this
Gonna
is
be a close
He's
actually
gonna
one.
lose
back.
B. He's gonna lose B because of this.
That I feel like that was the wrong decision.
It
I was about to call this game over, but
I told you,
that's-
dog. I warned you.
Yeah, dude, this is... If he does this, if he fully commits to this, Rymark's gonna take B.
Yeah, I've seen this happen so many times. Like, ANS just doesn't have the positioning right now.
BB brain rot.
hey, missiles, rule break.
Yeah.
Hack B coming out, doesn't get the basic CIC because bulk is bullshit. Does get the drive.
They see
Okay.
the fucking BB now, though. They're like, alright, we gotta
I
focus
think this
then.
thing's useless because it just lost 2 PCCs and it's got no restores. So this is no longer a Master Avalanche ship.
Gotcha.
And there's the cap. Does he turn around? Nope, he's full ahead.
Oh, the Hagrid is getting lit
Going
up.
in hot. It's an
Yep,
explosive
He
battle.
did the thing that I said that he should do, but like really stupidly.
Yeah, if you were a gun BB. But he's also like
Yeah,
broadsiding.
I thought it was a gun BB, and I was
Yeah, he's literally broadsiding plasma and like boom.
And getting shot from behind by a fucking mass driver.
Yeah, getting shot behind from mass drivers, getting shot in the front by like plasma and 250s and like 450s.
Okay.
Yeah, he's just eating all
Uh,
kinds of fire now.
throw
Oh, they're
your little
recapping D, though. And that's probably still gonna win.
Yeah, but the Doom's got it. That little vat isn't gonna hold.
Well, he's got to get rotated.
Any amount of capping time is not very bad for OSB right now. They
Yeah, this
completely mitigate it.
this CL does it have the burst to kill this bulk? Probably not. It's gonna run full CSC.
Full bend's trying to get onto
they're
Echo so
contesting it.
hard.
Well, contesting dagger.
Oh,
Has this
last
beam
minute.
BB actually killed anything? It got 1 monitor.
Nice. Do make sure he saves the dead. Alright, and Chaos is still heading towards Alpha and is gonna just die for it, as expected.
Yeah.
Why?
I
Chaos?
told you. I
Why?
told you guys.
You just
I
saw
called
your
it.
friend's
Look at
BB melt to
He's
going
getting
to
shot
CDC
from,
with
like,
that.
four
I
different
called it so
sides.
hard. I know these people.
All right, Pyro.
You
How,
really do.
how much did you pay him?
That's the most fucked.
All he had to
BB
do
I've
was go to
seen
me.
in a
All
long
he had
time.
to do was go to me.
I know how much you like commission, Pyro. You can't
Okay.
bribe anyone to throw a match because you haven't got any money left.
Hey, you're not wrong. God, I'm so poor.
What you get for commissioning all that hentai?
Hey, it's not hentai. It's like reference sheets for my OCs.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
Also, let's be honest. Pyro doesn't probably get paid that much because Pyro gets a job that she can play Neb during. Like, that is a side
True.
benefit that is worth a lot. Let's be fair here.
Very good point.
Yeah, pay isn't exactly stellar.
If. Oh, they've got E now too. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, that's the game. Okay, so when this ends, I'm gonna interview Chaos, and I would appreciate everybody being silent during that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
No cat calls, jeers.
None of it.
Tomatoes.
None of it. Absolutely none of it.
Of course.
Oh,
Yeah,
it was right from the
I like
start,
Chaos.
that's
I like Chaos. I just think he's very funny. Sometimes a real funny
Hey,
guy.
well, it's what I said earlier is that he's completely bloodthirsty. I mean, most of the people that are in here and are from here, I guess, for lack of a better phrase, like this is their first like Neb or their main maybe Neb fan server are fucking bloodthirsty maniacs. It's just what we do.
Like if you were doing the Robot Wars thing, right? You score on style, control, damage, and aggression.
But,
Yeah.
But if you're bloodthirsty, then why don't you go for the 3 kills?
Dude, this game is a perfect example of why nothing matters in balance, because either way, people are just gonna throw the game. Like, you cannot
Right?
count for the player that's actually behind the wheel.
That is.
It's BB brain rot.
Yeah,
BB
that's what I
brain
said
rot.
earlier. Was BB brain rot, man.
Like we don't need to nerf
Man,
BB
this
any
is
further because BB
like the-
players are
The
just.
dedicated BB assassin fleet in this game was IE3, who I think can fairly coherently be called the best Bulka player. So
Yeah.
yeah, that was. It's not a fight I'd like to take as a BB captain, and despite having taken it a couple of times, it's not fun.
Yeah, for sure.
He's very good with those.
Next balance patch lowered IQ points of BB mains by 10%.
Oh, we're
They
doing
lowered
the US
IQ
Marine, US Marine thing with BB players now.
Yeah, the Marine aptitude test for Battleship captains.
Can
Yeah,
you
that-
count to 3? Yes? Okay, time for concussions.
Oh,
They're putting microplastics in the crayons.
You know how to use a microwave. That's something you need to know.
Sounds like you need to
Wow.
take more punishment.
This BB is done, man. It's dead.
Good night, Battleship.
Just like that.
Actually
Bye.
dead. That was yep.
Good night,
Plasma
Irene.
still does it.
Completely torn apart.
So if you have the entire team fire at a battleship for 2 to 3 minutes, it will die. We can
Just look at
confirm.
this Crossfire, holy
How,
shit.
let me ask you one question, man. How is this any different than Maine right now?
There was a fucking there was an evil line amount of lead in the air. Like anything would die to this.
People already have BB, let's shoot it with everything mentality.
Yeah.
So I think something that we should remember is that plasma didn't get its damage nerfed. It's just now its damage spreads out. So it's worse if you have small amounts, but if you have large amounts of plasma, enough to beat healing, then it still does a lot of damage.
Well, 60 damage razor, it's pretty bad. It's not a lot. Like, at
I
all.
guess, but like, I don't know. I still feel like it's. The
It
plasma
is
did a lot
doing
of-
something. It is adding damage. Like, not you're right in that sense, but like the things that are doing
With
the damage to
DR.
the battleship there are the 450 HE and 250.
Yeah.
I guess so, yeah.
DR kind of fucks those damage rates into the ground.
Yeah.
Oh, and the Dimps from IE3 eating a mass driver shot from Rymark.
Whoops.
getting in the way of the Sassy What, which has capped Bravo, and doesn't matter, unfortunately. We've gone completely the other end of the spectrum from no way the OSP comes back from this cap-wise to it's pretty much over, and the OSP is going to win as soon as they kill this one stupid ship.
Question, how is Brent still alive? I forgot about him like 5 minutes ago.
I actually don't know, because I too, when I saw this over
The
here...
battleship was soaking
Called off and
the
repaired.
entirety of the OSP team's fire. No one was shooting at him because they were all killing grenades.
So that's
it, like over here where my camera is right now.
Okay.
Crawled under this rock, fixed stuff up while everyone was shooting at the battleship over there, and then ran over to B.
So, Battleship knock-on buff to Axford, because players will stop shooting at an Axford and shoot at the Battleship instead.
Yes, yes.
And the repairability
already
can
a
kick
thing,
in.
that's already-
Yeah, but the
Already a thing.
repairability will kick in more effectively
Okay.
than on main.
Yeah.
Alright.
I feel so vindicated.
Entirely
God
balanced.
damn it, Pyro.
100% back.
I hate that you were right
What
about that.
happened?
Okay, alright, okay. So, Captain Chaos,
Yes.
why did you choose to go for Alpha instead of Bravo at the end of the game?
Because there was threats there and I wanted to kill it, I guess. I don't know.
I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it, you bloodthirsty, brain-rotted, BB playing ass motherfucker.
What happened?
So, Chaos threw the game by going to Alpha instead of Bravo, is what happened. Because he could have gone on to Bravo and held the cap and squeezed out maybe a victory, probably a victory, given that y'all had a 400 points lead. Instead of doing that, he was kill chasing, like we're playing Killing Floor, and
I was wondering why he was
died.
up to the mass drivers.
Just got dissolved. So we do know now that you do not require missiles to kill a battleship, or even to kill two battleships.
That was why I died.
All you need is the entire team's fire for a couple minutes.
And,
That's why I went to A.
And game's already like that, though. You still battleships died at teamfire in less than 2 minutes in the game already.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, but that took longer.
that was
than
brutal.
I
That was
mean,
pretty
it just
funny, though.
takes lots and lots of plasma, and these
Yeah,
are like
that's
all
absolutely
in
fun.
plasma, and these are like all in plasma liners, not like PD liners.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I do have a bit of fear that like this fleet isn't viable against small fleets, but you know,
It's not. The small fleets, you get horribly, horribly outcapped. This is something I was talking about earlier in the cast, that OSP has almost no map presence. They can definitely kill battleships very effectively, but you have 3 shuttles, and that's kind of a problem. I mean, that's why you guys started off at such a colossal disadvantage, and frankly should have lost the game, because you lost the cap lead and lost it really hard, because just a couple voxels and a couple frigates, or a couple sprinters, were able to run around the map and cap things, and you don't
but,
have an
like,
answer to that.
monitors aren't like not cap game, right? Honestly, the strongest thing about the monitor is that it can sit on a point and make it awkward for capping. So like, we've got some tools. We don't have 0 tools.
True. I mean, the fucking beam BB made short work of that tactic, at least on heat.
Yep.
I didn't even have time to tab back to that ship before it was dead.
Gone. Four FBA, 3 beams will do that.
Holy shit.
I just heard, "We're under fire! Oh no!" And then I tab back and it's just dead. Like,
Yeah,
oh.
that was hard.
I still think it's a little too hard, but I was relieved that at least they did die when the entire team focused them.
Yeah, it was
Agreed.
a hard
Yeah,
pot.
yeah, like Dark said, I threw the game because the dynamic I'm used to is, oh, my plan as a beam BB worked. I can kill everything now. This is how most games go, and I'm just not used to it yet. It's like a pattern in my brain has been engraved, and I need to get it out.
You're just bloodthirsty
I
in
see.
general.
Also that.
You
Mostly
YOLO onto points like all the time. This happens all the time. It's not just the beam battleship. It's in like everything you fly.
I should have, and I should have ran the.
Oh.
When I saw that beam battleship, that whole core, I should have just ran away. I just tried. I was like, oh wait, but my my battleship's gonna kill. I should have just ran away. I was an idiot, me.
Yeah.
But then I was like, mass drivers.
Oh
Oh
well.
crap. Oh
I
well.
fucking hate how vulnerable the monitor's weapon systems are. Like that was.
Oh yeah, they're ginormous
It's so fucking bad.
and not tanky at all.
And you
I
lost your
mean,
magazine, didn't you?
No, thankfully the magazine didn't go out, but I spent all of my restores just keeping up my fucking casemate plasma.
Oh,
Because
okay.
Yep.
just someone would sneeze in its direction. And it's not like the casemate plasma actually has decent stats, but it's the only thing on the fucking front. It's the only component that's going to get damaged.
Yeah.
So it just, throw a little
I
bit of
was trying
fire
to
at it and it
achieve
goes
a
out.
little bit to try to take it off, but it didn't work so well.
All right. So OSP, any closing thoughts on that as
That's
regards
fucking hard.
battleship balance?
I
That
mean,
felt insanely stressful, and you're right that we probably should have lost on caps.
Sure. For what it's worth, though, like, I feel like if we also focused on caps correctly, like, it wasn't as much of a throw. So, like, both sides threw a little bit on caps, I think. I think it about equaled out.
Rymark makes a really good point here, in which we did not at all play perfect on the cap game, even we were already presented with. We had a couple of instances where we moved off points, where we didn't need to, and it really was a mistake.
Yeah. C and B, that happened.
Yeah. And, like, that's
And
not
then
to give
I
my
made
team
the
a hard
same
time.
mistake.
Chaos. OSP is talking. Be quiet.
Sorry.
I didn't mean too much more. It's just not to give my team a hard time. But, like, they were imperfect, we were imperfect. I don't think it's like they were guaranteed anything, right?
What I was noticing was that you needed the volume of fire for plasma that you needed to actually start enabling the 100 millimeter felt like a lot. Like if like my monitors, they've got the plasmas on the nose, and it just if my monitors hadn't had plasma, it wouldn't have made a difference. Like, because the PLNs just provide so much more volume of fire, and you need that volume of fire in order for it to work.
Yep. Agreed. Plasma is not particularly good on anything other than plasma liners.
Okay.
Well,
ANS players. Oh, internet. Go ahead.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't get a chance to speak. Personally, what I think is going to happen is if this 60 meters of armor stays, and you're not relying on like torque frigates or praying that Yubnub will work, the main armament is just going to be plasma for OSP. Like most other weapons, like 450, just really struggle hard without plasma support. So I think plasma is going to need to be a mainstay within like 2 fleets at a minimum.
And the fact that it can't be monitors does feel bad because, like, they just don't have enough plasma output, even if you have a full monitor fleet.
Okay. ANS team. What are your thoughts?
My missiles worked when they weren't Circes around, but there's Circes around, so mostly they didn't.
There were a couple of misplays there. Yeah, there were a couple of misplays there, but otherwise.
Yeah, Brenton, how are you feeling about the Axford specifically? Because you were flying that and you took quite a beating.
So I'm annoyed at myself because I fucked up there. I completely misplayed that. I should have ran away. But on the other hand, so the status, my status in initial plasma volley was down about. I was down my bottom turret as usual because bottom turret sucks even after all the buffs and also all that firepower. Yeah, the 250 rips it apart with the plasma. I'm feeling I'm fine actually though. Here's the thing: I misplayed that, and in main branch, and I'm compared to main branch. Main branch I would have just been insta dead, but I was able to limp away, and like try to interfere with B. So you know what? I'm actually totally fine with extra balance as it stands because like the damage still sticks. Like Rymark, I did rush down Rymark with my 250, with my single 250 on the back, but the reason I had no other guns was I had no other restores left. So like every damage that you hit me, like that stuck. I could barely limp away.
Yeah.
So
Like,
I'm
I think the entire fleet combined attacked Ren all at once.
Yeah,
And
since he was
I paid
up
for
in
it.
the open above
And I
Alpha.
completely paid for it. Yeah, and I paid for it, and like I should have deserved. And yeah, I had an Axford left over, but it was like, wait,
A
250 gun
shell.
on his rear. It was a shell. So I think the action is fine.
Okay.
Like I accept that that was my misplay, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? I was like, where could I run to? But anyway, I'm just wondering where should I run to earlier. But anyway, yeah, if the action stays like this in shipping, I think people will be happy because I'm like, oh yeah, we did kind of goof up there, and your shell of an action shows that yes, you fucked up. Now you can now all you can do is help your team as best you can.
Thank you, Brandon. Prophet?
I mean, we did pretty much get defeated in detail. I mentioned this in our team chat. I think if we like concentrated a bit more, it probably would have been like not such a close like win for OSP. Like just I don't know how to describe this. Yeah, I pretty much don't have the words right now.
If you don't mind me speaking through real quick as OSP, I think that if your Beam BB and your 450 Beam B were in the same place, you would have just absolutely wiped the floor with us. We wouldn't have had like the DPS to take down 2 BBs, let alone a Beam BB and a 450 BB. Only reason why we won is because we were practically fighting just one at a time.
Yeah.
A note on that too, actually, I noticed when I was watching, it seemed like at first it was just one of you fighting the BB at a time, and then the rest of you kind of piled onto it. And it's like when you were fighting it, Internet, you were doing damage to it, but it was like, you know, it took a little bit for the plasma to work, and then the 250s worked on it because I was watching the damage screen. But then the 450 started hitting it, and it really took a lot of damage. So if you had all of you shooting it at the same time, like earlier on, it probably would have died a lot quicker.
Speaking to the general balance, I mean, I like thinking about how the Axford feels. Axford feels great because nothing changed except for its ability to just get to cover and repair. The thing with the battleship now is that you have to beat its armor, and it can be really difficult to do, and plasma may or may not be good enough to do it. It would be cool, in my opinion, if Mazer, flipped it to where undo the armor change and bump up the repair rate on the Solomon and see how that feels, because it feels good on the Axford. Would it feel good on the Solomon even with old armor value?
That's a good question.
Agreed.
So
Before we go any further, does Apical have anything else to say other than his missile woes?
Oh, just like I got caught out and not really. Just
All right.
liners are tanky, relatively tanky, so I couldn't take them out fast enough.
Yeah, that's fine. You don't got much to say. Then you don't got much to say. That's fine. Okay. Hunter, sounded like you had something to say.
Just with regards to the heal tanking, like I think it would be an interesting test to see how well it does, but honestly, I think the heal might even be a little bit more problematic than this in some ways because, like in different ways, like a battleship in main branch right now with the 52 centimeters of armor, if you rush it down and you put a lot of rounds into it fast, it can die quickly. But that also requires you to like really push it quite hard. But if the heal tanking was there instead of the armor, um, there's certain situations where you'd be able to sort of have like your nose peeked out a little bit more for a gun BB, for instance, get a lot of damage downrange, and then pull back and just heal up to like 90-95%, whatever you're at before. Because right now, even a bow tanking battleship can take quite a lot of damage. And so having that heal amount would allow you to do a lot more peeking in and out and essentially take 0 damage. It also allows you to repair all of your thrusters so you can permanently flank in double raiders, which is what I was noticing before when I was playing a beam battleship. And you can also just repair B-shorted beams. So each one of these things kind of comes with like positives and negatives. And like I get the sense that a lot of people don't really like the armor right now. It's like maybe a bit too much, but and you know, maybe that's true, but I think in some ways the repair is a little bit more problematic. But I don't know. I can understand the armor issues. I just think it's not as bad.
I would like to say a point.
Do you feel like
I would also like to speak later after Corbo.
Go ahead, Corval.
I would just like to say that one of the things that we're trying to address with the battleship buff is the enjoyment value of flying it. And while I do agree that we don't really want permaflank to go unpunished on raiders, there is also a fun factor value in your battleship being able to restore and keep its maneuverability more effectively.
That's
Just
fair.
on a
Yes,
pure
agreed.
enjoyment basis.
That is a fair point.
Yeah. So, I think I really want to see like high repair and main branch armor values really bad because like the battle people were saying earlier the battleships having a similar problem to how bulkers are/were, where the only counter is hybrids. Now the only counter the battleships is like plasma and torps, right? But if you give it the repair and not the armor, it differentiates it because now you have a sustain tank rather than a mitigation tank, right? So your battleship can then take a hit and keep on fighting. That feels awesome rather than I either live or I die, which is binary and not interesting.
Just to reply to that quickly too, though, the thing about this, if you make the heel tank come back, it makes the battleship more resistant to torpedoes, right? So, like with the armor, we're saying
Right.
that it's essentially immune to 250 without plasma, and it's resistant to 450. If you give it the heel tank, it's like reversed. Now it's like 250 is better against it, 450 is better against it, but torpedoes are worse against it. So
Yeah,
Another
but they're
point.
not immune to torpedoes. Torpedoes are just
No.
less effective when used
Yeah.
in a vacuum against it.
that's fair.
Another
But
point.
And
I
then the
actually argue it's
torpedoes.
the opposite. I think it's the opposite. And the reason is right now, most torpedo platforms are going to be able to mount 250 millimeter. Right
Hmm.
now, if they deliver a torpedo strike, they're going to get almost no damage through to finish off, or just even keep down the battleship.
that's not entirely true either, actually, because the missile striking the battleship removes armor, so you can hit
They do.
where your torpedoes hit afterwards.
That's why I don't say none. I say it's a small amount because it doesn't plasma the entire side by any means.
Honestly, my expectation is that people are going to run like a torpedo monitor as like a backup, but then have combat ships, or just go in a full torpedo monitor array and try and buff that 450 spinal into something that's actually useful. But let's be real, that's probably not going to work out.
I tried to build that as an option to bring today, and in the testing range, no matter how much you buff the 450 with the monitor slots, it doesn't matter.
Well,
Even with the low repair mounts, the battleship just repairs through it rather than having its components punched out after the torpedo strike.
You just have to have a lot of them. You have to have a lot of them and count on the things being crippled from the missiles. So the 450 just exists to technically kill stuff.
Yeah, that's what I mean. I don't think you can afford enough on a monitor. It works like a charm on 450 bulkers with a torpedo sidearm. That is another build I have for today.
Right,
But the
we're
monitors are too weak.
getting into talking about other stuff. I'm gonna deafen and close out the video. Y'all continue discussing, and maybe someone throw up another lobby.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm fine, actually.
While I'm doing that.
But thank you for the games.
Okay, that was that was very exciting. That was very fun. I hope you enjoyed that. That was a very, very different format than usual because we had so many people. We had over 10 people in that voice chat at the end of it. I think we had more like closer to 20 when all the people came out of team chats. So it was a little more structured, but also pretty chaotic in any case because of all the folks in there. I apologize to anybody who doesn't like that sort of thing. I know there are those people that exist. I know those people, and quite frankly, if I wasn't running the show, I also wouldn't enjoy this. It's just too many people in a voice channel. It bothers me greatly, but that's just the cost of doing business, as it were. Yeah, cost of doing business. That was a testing game. We're still working through the battleship, still trying to figure out the battleship and what's going on with the armor and stuff and things. I hope that was useful to you. I hope that was informational to you. I particularly hope that you enjoyed the podcast there at the end, because that's the real value of some of these matches. Really, is all the conversation. It's not just the game itself as far as the testing goes. It's everybody talking about their perspectives and experiences and so forth and so on. And we've been doing this for about 3-4 weeks now, maybe, of having these like significant, meaningful games and then having long conversations at the end of them. And some of them record. Most of them I record. Some of them I upload. I don't upload all of them. Some of them aren't that interesting when you go back and watch them again. But that's the way it be. Pretty sure this one is. Thank you for sticking around. I appreciate it. If you want to participate, if you have made it this long and aren't already a part of the Coliseum, my hat goes off to you. You belong with us. You nebulous-loving weirdo. There's a link to the Discord where these are getting hosted out of in the description. And I hope to see you there. I'll see you in the battle space, dear viewer. Good night.